Hello and welcome to the Golden Sparrow Open School. This is a very nascent idea, an idea that is bound to spread. Today we are looking at a phygital world, physical and digital, and Golden Sparrow, Sone Ki Chidiya, is one welcome step towards such traditional alternate schooling where there's a blend of children coming to a school, but what we call as freedom with fences. Hello and again, welcome. I am Dr. DawoodVaid, an educator, mentor, and hopefully a change maker. I grew up in the beautiful island city of Port Blair in the Andaman and Nicobar in Swami Vivekananda College, and incidentally was awarded the Swami Vivekananda School Award. As a traveler myself who grew up loving horses and Batman, I am very passionate about NIOS and SDG. And yes, I do talk to a lot of students and schools and consult them across India and the world. So, this is a premise we want to talk about. You see, years ago, you had Nokia, Kodak, Blackberry. Where are these people? Where are these organizations? They were, in fact, the top 100 of Fortune company. The same thing, I believe, happening with schools. If you do not reinvent yourself like these companies, you become extinct like the dinosaurs. The schools are wonderful. I am pro school. I love schools. I'm part of the entire fraternity of educators. But I also have a concern that if our schools are not shifting, not pivoting, somewhere we might lose them to the more hustle of completely different education that won't be within those walls here. I wrote a book called The Education Riddle. In that, I wrote a story about a man whose name is Rip Van Winkle. Ironically, RIP also means rest in peace. So, Rip Van Winkle slept for, say, 100 years. And when he grew up and he saw the city he grew up in, everything has changed. There are no horse carts. People are driving cars. They are speaking on some strange looking, devices on their hand. And everything looks taller, bigger, except when he enters a school and he finds the same familiar setting, the benches, the table. The only thing is the blackboard replaced by whiteboards, and he feels at ease. Our schools have not changed. Our education system has not changed. The way you write your exams in 10th today is the same way I wrote my board exams and my father wrote the board exams, the 3 hours papers, and the same way your communication skills are not important as much as your written skills are. This is 22nd century children, we are teaching the 19th century curriculum. And what are we doing? We are teaching them subjects that somehow is redundant in their lives. I mean, for example, we are teaching about history and French Revolution. We say, don't dig up old graves. I know children who know nothing about Europe but only French Revolution. And I spoke about what about the Germans? What about the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Italians, the Russians? And they have no idea because we only learned about fraternity, liberty, and equality. Oh, for the beautiful flowers, the only time you talk about ovule, petal, and pollen is when you are a biology teacher, never a flower on a date. I love Hindi. I scored 82 in 1997 in my CBSE Hindi. I was a top scorer. And the only Hindi I read today is Sauchalay. No, it's not an offensive thing because I believe I was never introduced to the world of poems of Harivansh Rai Bachchan, the novels of Munshi Premchand. In fact, the most Hindi people will learn is in the Lion King, where Shah Rukh Khan and his son are talking about Mufasa and Simba. Why are languages not a part of it? Languages are the greatest gift of humanity. Let's love to fall in love with a language rather than fighting over it. And yes, when is the last time you used a Roman number in your home other than the aesthetic wall clock? So we are really talking something's wrong in education. But then, why are your children still in school if education is so drastically wrong? Number one, it's the dependency on boards. Lack of alternatives. People are not sure where to go, and there's no peer pressure coming in. Everybody's kids are going to school. You can't be a homeschooler or a alternate schooler. And then there is competitive exam, entire euphoria over IIT, JEE, and NEET examinations. So ultimately, it comes down to Kapoor Saab kya kahenge. What will your neighbor say if you're not looking at alternate schooling, despite knowing alternate schooling is the norm? It's something like everybody knows EV vehicles are great, but nobody wants to switch because that's where the hindrances are unknown, uncertainty. I went through similar dilemma until I met my mentor. Yes, Sonam Wangchuk sir at IIT Delhi. This is Delhi airport where we had kulfi together. The same Rancho from Funsuk Wangdu from Three Idiot. And when I spoke to him, his school, his dream of an education, his world, which is beautiful, I realized it's time to change education, reimagine education. And I told him, sir, I'm coming to Leh and spend my time with you in Ladakh. He told me, I will come to you. You go back where your heart is. What he basically meant is where my daughters were. And that gave birth to Golden Sparrow, the micro school. We started teaching a curriculum that connects the head, the heart, and the hand. In simple words of one of my friends says, Uchai, Sachai, and Achai. Can we get the kids to love a program that is meant for them? And the idea of it is a Gurukul with a Wi-Fi. The modern day traditional program. You see, my father took me to Shanti Niketan, Gurudev's ashram, when I was young. And I think I grew up with this idea where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. So there we are, India's first Nobel laureate in literature. We are talking about a revolution in the idea of small schooling, concepts of micro school, the academy. And what do we do in Uchai, Sachai, and Achai? Well, Uchai is about entrepreneurship environment. Sachai of the heart is expression and communication, the sincerity. And Achai of the hand is exploration, science, STEM, technology. And this is what a micro school is. A micro school functions like a regular school, but there are only 10, 12 kids in a class. In fact, my daughter says that in the older CBSE school, there were 60 students in one class. Today, I've got 65, the entire 65 in one branch, the mother branch at Nerul, Navi Mumbai, the Golden Sparrow Academy. That's a dream. So we come back and we do business model, the Shark Tank. Yes, Golden Sparrow was featured on Shark Tank. Entrepreneurship and clay modeling, SDG goals become part of it. We were one of the only school of the 5 that were selected by the US Embassy to be invited for our work on SDG goals. That's the way. Put your head high, the sky is the limit. And then from the heart, we love our children to talk about G20 Summit. We had a simulation G20 Summit. The kids do their own podcast show and they record it. There is a reading program called Dear. And the idea is, can we have storytelling and guests coming in? There is Madhumita coming and talk to the kids, all glued to a session. And there's guests from lawyers, architects, film producers. That's the dream we are looking into. And then there is the hand. Let's do good work. Makers Lab. There is Shruti ma'am. She herself is a gold medalist. And this year, we made a record NIOS where a child scored 100. Marks don't matter, but they are a significant validation. She scored 100 in the first time in NIS science and 97 in maths. And these are 2 of my M&M, both of them doing engineering NIOS students. Exploration is what we are talking about. There are so many success stories, but the recent one is this young boy, Abdullah, who is one of the first NIS students in Reliance Foundation School, Koperkhane, getting, recognition from his principal and now flying to Germany to pursue higher education. Another NIS student who was studying with us went to do IGCSE core at Dubai and now studying in University of Birmingham. We'll soon see him in Google taking about metadata. The open schooling system has created gems across. Well, I'm welcoming you to become a partner with Golden Sparrow. Open your own school. It's something you like to dance, doodle, draw, dream. Come and open a studio with us. These are some of the investments required. If you're running a preschool and want to grow higher, if you want to take up a smaller premise and don't have 2 acres land, Golden Sparrow will help you, guide you. Perhaps we will hold your hand and partner you. You keep your name and powered by Golden Sparrow. This is an entire program. Ask me and I'll send a slide to you. So, welcome to alternate schooling. And if you're listening to me, I request you to reach out this voice to the preschool owners who are starting something new, to the people who are looking to open up their own ideas, coaching center heads, parents who are reconsidering alternate schooling, or any parent whose child is in sports for some reason, travel, medical, entrepreneurship, want to do an online schooling. Golden Sparrow is here. And yes, I'm welcoming you like some of my friends. Come and visit our Golden Sparrow Center in Nerul. We love to have you talk to our kids, be a guest, because that's what we do. And finally, that is Sonam sir, who kept his promise after 5 years. He came to Mumbai and we are giving him the Golden Sparrow jacket, where some dreams are still carrying on. As we say, Robert Frost said, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So the woods are lovely, dark and deep. Come meet our kids, be our friends, talk to my teachers, take the idea, spread the word across, because together we fly. The little brown bird that we saw across in our neighborhood is the same bird we want to chirp again in your neighborhood. Thank you so much. That's my email and my mobile number. I'm always reachable. Drop me a WhatsApp or a voice note, and hope to catch up soon. And may these little birds spread all over our beautiful country. Sone ki chidiya. That's what we're looking for. Jai Hind.